Love is an emotion that money cannot buy. At times, no matter how far we stray, love is always waiting for us. In the opening scene of A Taste of Love, Taylor and Jacob hide while her father and grandmother prepare food for their customers. Taylor's parents own a restaurant, and she is planning to steal some of the food. When her dad steps out of the kitchen to serve, she picks up one of the snacks, and also plans to take the new chicken her grandma is taking out of the oil. Seeing that she is not being watched, she and Jacob go after the meat. But before they can successfully do away with the meat, her grandma sees them. However, when her father comes in, her grandma decides not to inform him of what just happened. He simply tells them to leave, as the kitchen is not a place to play around. Before leaving, Grandma packs some chicken for them. The two children run to Clearwater Beach to eat their meal. While eating, Jacob asks Taylor if she will become a chef like her grandmother and parents. Indeed, she wants to be the most famous chef in the world, but she also wants to live in a fancy environment. She believes the current environment is not fancy enough. Jacob, on the other hand, is indifferent. He simply wants to be close to Taylor. Years later, Taylor is now a food teaching presenter on Culinary Network, and she is the lead presenter of QED, which means quick, easy, and delicious. The scene opens with her teaching people in the last episode of the series. She delivers the presentation beautifully. After the shoot, one of her directors compliments her excellent way of rounding up the season. She is sure he is not just there to tell her that, and he reveals she will be having a meeting with the network's president at 9 the next day. Taylor cannot withhold her joy when she hears the news. While she is leaving the set, she sees another presenter talking about how, when one cooks from the heart, it is impossible to make a bad dish. This, in one way, reaches out to Taylor and makes her feel a little emotional before leaving. Inside the dressing room, her manager Jessica comes to congratulate her on her meeting the next day. She hopes she will leave QED and show the world who she is. She suggests that they go and celebrate, but Taylor declines because she has a date. She responds in a shy way, ashamed of using a dating app, which feels like a mini market to her. Her manager assures her that everyone is using it, and we all have to kiss a couple of frogs before finding our prince. During the date, Taylor keeps looking at her date trying to add ketchup to his food. While they are discussing, he adds the ketchup to the food, and this seems off to her. While talking about her career, she realizes that his ideology seems to be different from hers, especially on food and her career. After the date, Taylor receives a call from her manager, who is still in the office. She is eager to hear the take of her date, and this is where she expresses her disgust at her date putting ketchup on his food. Her manager points out that she is picky, while mentioning the previous incidents with her ex. Upon mentioning her meeting the next day, Taylor gets nervous, but her manager encourages her. Their TED Talk boosts her confidence. In the next scene, Taylor is all dressed and she heads to the meeting. Before entering, she puts on a smile and confidence. She hands over her presentation, but looking at the pages, the network president tells Mr. Thompson to start the discussion. This surprises her, because she had thought she was the one presenting. Little did she know that they have a proposition for her, based on the success of her episodes and how rapidly her audience is growing. They understand that she has done a great job creating the kind of show she wants, but since her current show is having the expected turnover, they would rather not fix what is not broken. Then they show a design where Taylor will be hosting QED in prime time, promising to increase her budget and also increase her pay. They believe this will excite her, but she isn't thrilled with the new development, because it means she will not be able to do what she intends. They ask for her response, but she is not able to respond. While discussing the outcome of her meeting with her manager, Taylor rejects their offer. She is not ready to go ahead with QED again, but since the show has made the company huge money, they want to continue with it. She wants to move on, but her manager convinces her not to do so, because the new plan will help her career, and it will make her more money as she will become a household name. Taylor insists on rejecting the offer and wants to cancel her trip home so that she can search for another job. But her manager advises her to take the trip so that she can clear her head and make a proper decision. Taylor travels back to her hometown to visit her parents. She first goes to the restaurant, hoping to surprise her parents inside. Getting there, she enters through the back door, but she finds the restaurant empty. She enters the main area from the kitchen and sees that the restaurant is not functioning. She keeps looking around and saying hello, until she hears someone talk from the back door. Getting back to the kitchen, she sees Jacob, and he is also surprised to see her. They exchange greetings awkwardly. Jacob is there to deliver a package to her parents. He hands her the package so she can give it to them. He mentions her show, and she reveals the network plans to move the show to prime time. He congratulates her, but she laughs awkwardly. Before leaving, he invites her to the birthday party of a mutual friend. Getting home, Taylor's mom is excited to see her. She asks why she and her dad are not in the restaurant, but her mom refuses to answer the question, promising to talk about it later. Her dad is also excited to see her. After hugging him, she notices him holding one part of his body, and she wonders what happened. Her mom explains that he fell from a painting ladder. Mentioning the painting makes Taylor ask if it was at the restaurant, but they change the topic quickly. Later that day, while eating, Taylor's dad asks about her next move. She reveals she is just done with her current show and considering doing another. He hopes they will allow her to try her recipe. Aside from that, they ask if there is any man in her life. Taylor has not been lucky with men, but her dad advises her not to rush things. Her mom is of a different opinion, reminding him that he proposed on their 4th date, but he defends himself by saying that he is just romantic. Taylor brings the discussion back to the restaurant and offers to help. Her dad is reluctant to share the issue and refuses her offer, but her mom insists they share the news with her. After much back and forth, trying to change the topic into something else, they finally tell her that they want to sell the restaurant. This shocks Taylor, and she cannot find a response. Later that same day, while Taylor is sitting outside the house, her mom joins her. She expresses her displeasure about selling the restaurant, as if it does not mean anything to them, but her mom explains that the choice is not an easy one. Their mind is no longer in it, and even though their food is good, it is no longer cutting it. Taylor is not happy, she is just finding out, but her mother reminds her of how her father can be. Her mom encourages her to go to the party, since she is on vacation and has not seen her friends in a long time. At Jordan's party, Taylor sees Jacob talking to a lady, and she gets a little jealous. Jordan sees her. He is surprised that she is in town, and calls Tom, his boyfriend. Jacob also notices her arrival. Tom brings drinks, and they make a toast to the birthday boy. Jacob has joined them, and while talking, she realizes everyone in town knows about her parents' restaurant situation. This comes as a shock to her, because she saw Jacob before seeing her parents, and he did not care to mention it to her. Seeing her expression, Jacob decides to go. She goes after him, challenging him for lying to her, but he explains that he didn't tell her just because he felt it was not in his place to do so. This leads to them talking about how she left without looking back, but she argues that she is out there chasing her dreams, while Jacob is happy with surviving. Their talk does not end well, as it appears that there is unspoken hurt between them. Taylor goes back into the party for a drink. Linda, the lady Taylor was talking to, walks up to her, talking about the way Jacob walked away from her. Linda talks her into the cook-off competition, in which the winner gets the best restaurant of the year. Hearing it gives Taylor an idea that she can use the competition as a way to bring back the restaurant. She gets more interested when Linda mentions that there was a time her dad competed and was second, while Linda Restaurant has been winning first since then. Taylor keeps thinking about the competition even after Linda leaves her. The next scene shows Taylor going to meet her parents, but they hide what they are checking from her. She reveals what she learned at the party and asks her parents if there is anything she needs to know, since she is getting different surprises. After they claim that there are no more surprises, she asks about the next step, which is to renovate the restaurant. However, her father is not fit to do most of the things. She offers to assist them in making sure things are successful. Taylor and her dad go to get breakfast, and she receives a compliment from a fan of her show. Her dad goes back to the car to pick up the phone he forgot. Jacob sees them as they get to the cafe, and goes to Taylor to apologize for what happened at the party. He wants them to forget the past and be friends. She agrees and also apologizes. She reveals her intention to stay back for a while to help out with the restaurant, and he offers to help. When her dad comes back, Jacob informs him he is willing to assist at the restaurant. Before he leaves the father and daughter to enjoy their meal, Linda comes with their coffee and appreciates Taylor's father for passing down the catering job. She is excited about the competition. He is surprised that his daughter has registered for the cook-off. She can tell that he is angry, so she tries to convince him to agree with the competition. She finally wins her dad over by talking about spending time cooking with him. In the next scene, she informs her manager about the competition, and this is where her true intentions are known. She is trying to make her father fall in love with teaching all over again, and maybe he will not want to sell the restaurant. But she is not sure about the finances of the restaurant. Her manager suggests she take the deal offered to her, because it comes with a lot of money for her to revive the restaurant. Taylor and her father are deliberating what to cook as they search for recipes. Jacob and her mom enter, and she reveals their plan to her mom. They do not know what to make yet. After a few deliberations, she has an idea. They make a cake, and for the final touch, they set it on fire. Jacob enters, thinking it's a fire accident. He picks up the fire extinguisher and unleashes it on the cake, before realizing it's all part of the recipe. He apologizes for messing up everything. Jacob and Taylor walk by the beach, and he reveals that he loves working at the farm and in the environment, even though it sounds simple. Taylor agrees that simple sounds nice, which is surprising to him, because he knows she does not do simple. She asks if there is some romance between him and Linda, but he is not in any relationship. He is hoping the right person will come along. She reveals she is also not in a relationship, and one can say she is married to her career. She misses walking at the beach, because that is where they used to talk about their dreams. He believes all of her dreams have come true, but she is not certain they have, leading them to talk about the offer from the network. The reason she has not agreed is because QED makes finger foods, but she wants to be a great chef and teach people how to make food. Jacob encourages her to go ahead with what she believes, but since it will be difficult to change the plan, he feels the deal is not for her. She is beginning to think she is being picky, but he assures her she is not. They both run towards the beach. Later that night, while Taylor is checking through a diary, her mom comes over informing her that she is excited to see her and her dad cooking together again. The next day, Taylor's mom appreciates Jacob for his efforts in helping out. He reminds her that they have always treated him as a family. Just then, Taylor announces that the meal is ready. After eating, Jacob is not sure it will be the right dish for the competition. Her dad shares the same sentiment, making Taylor decide to try another approach and head to Harbor Farm for inspiration. So Jacob volunteers to drive her. On getting to the farm, Taylor is amazed at how the place has changed. It is almost impossible to find such vegetables in the city. Jacob explains that all products are organically made or locally sourced. While they are checking out things, Linda sees them picking up some fresh produce before the competition. She throws a jab at Taylor's show that they may not be quick and easy, but they will be delicious. When she leaves, they go get some shakes and reminisce on the old times, when Jacob kept allowing her to do silly stuff simply because he wanted to keep her around. This makes Taylor feel uncomfortable, so she suggests they should start going back. Getting back home, Jessica is waiting for her. Her presence comes as a surprise and a shock. She came with the new document from the network. Taylor introduces Jacob to her. Inside the house, Taylor's dad asks about the show, which Jessica is delighted to share. When they hear it is prime time, they are excited and proud of how far their daughter has come. But Taylor cuts short the excitement by revealing that she has not signed yet. Later, while they are taking a walk, Jessica apologizes for spilling the news. Taylor had been planning to tell her parents about it when she makes up her mind about the deal, but for now, she does not know what to do. Jessica advises her to take the deal, as the network has doubled the previous offer, but they are still going with the QED. They get to the restaurant, where Taylor falls in love with cooking. Jordan, Tom, and Jacob join them at the restaurant. Jacob advises them to follow her heart on the show, but Jessica believes that sometimes we need to follow our brains. Later that night, Jessica reveals that it is glaringly obvious that Jacob likes her, but Taylor feels it is all in the past. Jessica wants the best for her, but she needs to respond to the network the next day. Taylor goes outside a bit to think about it. She still has conflicting thoughts. Entering the house, she runs into her dad making a midnight snack, even though it is not midnight yet. He notices that she is moody. She confesses that she does not know what to do. Even though she has an amazing offer staring at her, it does not feel right. He tells her what her grandmother told him a long time ago, which is that if you have to do something, you have to do it for the right reason. Money comes and goes, but your love for food is what makes you a great chef, and without that love, you are in the wrong business. He trusts that she will make the right choice. The next day, Taylor makes her decision, and she lets Jessica know that she has decided to do the show. She is surprised with her decision, and promises to buy her a week to clear things up at home. In the next scene, Jacob shows up at Taylor's house with some farm supplies. She is alone, because her dad is in the hospital. She feels all that she has made is not going to win the competition, but he advises her to take a break for inspiration. They go to the beach to try a barbecue. She is fascinated by the way it is prepared, and eating it feels amazing. She has never had a barbecue this good. He feels the reason she is struggling is because she is not making something that is hers yet. She decides to reveal some things to him. Their relationship breakup helped her focus more on her career, and she took the show because she needs the money to help bring back her family restaurant. When they get back to the restaurant, he mentions fried chicken and ice cream, which gives Taylor an idea of what she should make. On entering the kitchen, Taylor starts remembering a memory between her and her grandmother. Her dad, who is back from the hospital and is healing nicely, joins her. From then on, they continue to cook together. Finally, the day of the competition arrives. Taylor is so nervous when the judges taste her food. Her dad is also nervous, but he is happy this is happening. When the judge leaves, her parents commend her dedication and efforts so far. Jessica arrives because she does not want to miss the event. Meanwhile, she is told that Jacob is taking care of something at the farm. The next scene is where the winner of the competition will be announced. While they are heading over, Taylor decides to tell her parents she is taking the show because she wants to revive the restaurant. This is when she realizes the problem with the restaurant is not money, but that her parents are tired. They want to retire and go on vacation. They also inform her that she can have the restaurant if she wants it, but she does not have the money to run it. Fortunately, Jessica offers to help with that, and they can be partners. Moreover, she has not submitted the deal because she felt something was not right after she received a call from Jacob. Just then, they ring the bell to announce the winner of the competition. Everyone gathers close as her parents' restaurant is announced as the winner of the competition. This is a joyful moment for them, as Taylor's parents tell her the restaurant is hers if she wants it. The announcer also calls out Jacob, who is the owner of the Harbor Farm. A pleasant surprise to Taylor, because she didn't know he was the owner. Jacob gives the award for the best restaurant to her before she takes the podium. In her speech, she reveals that the moment she has spent back home made her happier than the time she spent all around the world. She then dedicates the award to her parents. Later that day, Jacob finds her by the beach. He wonders what made her change her mind, and she replies that she is simply following her heart. She appreciates him for calling Jessica. They are both happy she will no longer be leaving. because there's no hiding the fact that they are both in love with one another. They hold hands and confess their love to one another before kissing passionately. The final scene shows the restaurant's soft opening, where Jordan and his boyfriend are the first customers. Business is looking good, as Jessica has gotten a deal to create 2 episodes per week right at the restaurant. And finally, she will also be cooking her own food. The movie then ends with Taylor and Jacob celebrating the good news with a kiss.